We have Jill Ryther, we have Amanda Fortino. They are both lending their vacation time to chatting with us. And we have some specific questions that I'm going to ask them, but anyone in the chat, please feel free to jump in and ask anything at any time. I'll pass the questions along to them. And yeah, I'm really excited to have you guys.
Thank you. We're so excited to be here.
Very excited. Thank you.
Of course. Just starting off with something simple. Do you guys want to just tell me a little bit about yourself? Tell the team everything that you want to say. Just kicking it off.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm Jill Ryther. I'm the founder of Ryther Law Group and the founder of Expand Animal Rights Now, which we call EARN for short. I'm an animal rights attorney, and then we have an animal rights nonprofit that works alongside of that. And Amanda, here's my right hand. She can let you know what she does.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us, Elizabeth. This is such a wonderful opportunity, and it's so nice to talk about the work that we do. So thank you for giving us this time. My name is Amanda Fortino. I'm the nonprofit director for EARN, and I have around 20 years of experience working in nonprofits, and it's a little bit of both. I've worked in the animal rights nonprofits, and I've also worked for legal aid offices. So I feel like coming together with EARN and RLG is like the perfect combination of both of the things that speak to my heart.
That's awesome. Give me 1 second. We're having a little bit of a double audio issue. It's on my end. It's not on your end. Just give me 1 second. Can you try speaking again?
How's this?
Keep going.
Hi again. Want me to keep going?
Yes, I think I fixed it. Jen,
you want me to sing?
Do you
please say no. Please say no.
No. You're good. You're fixed.
Okay. Don't let her sing.
Thank you.
All good. Thank you so much for the intro, and sorry again for all the tech issues.
No
so I have a few questions that are going to be specific to each of you. First one I'm going to ask is for Jill. How did you initially decide to start working in animal rights law and supporting animal rights in general?
Happy to answer that. I was at law school at UCLA, and I've always loved animals. And for some reason, I always wanted to be an attorney. And I never saw those two things together. They were sort of separate things to me. And UCLA offered a class called Animals in the Law, so it piqued my interest. And I took that class, and it was just like a day in, and I knew it was my calling. I was like, wow. I can do the two things that I love. I can practice law and I can advocate for animals. And I didn't even know that was a thing. And I never looked back. And that was in 2009, I started this law firm that focuses only on animal rights. So it was just, it was handed to me and it just felt right.
That's awesome. It's so cool that you can combine like a job with also something that you're passionate about, right?
I'm so grateful for that every day, because lawyering can be tough. And at least I feel like I do it for the right reasons. So I'm so grateful that I can do the thing I love.
That's awesome. And now this one's for Amanda. How did you initially decide or fall into start working for nonprofits? Is there a specific type of work that you're most passionate about, what you're interested in?
Yeah, so I went to college and undergrad and fell in love with political science and just kind of law and politics. And so I knew that I wanted to do that route, and I just wasn't sure if I wanted to go straight into law school or if there was some other path for me. So I started working for a legal aid office as a paralegal, and I absolutely loved it. We worked with a lot of domestic violence victims, and just all of our cases were really helping people, and we were really able to connect with people on a one-on-one basis and make important changes in people's lives. And so that really just inspired me to kind of dive into the nonprofit realm and stay there. And what was your second question?
Is there a type of nonprofit work that you're passionate about? I mean, obviously animals, right? But
yes. Yeah, so when I started with legal aid, I loved it. And then shortly after, I moved to California, and it was during Prop 2. So I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. We have the law, and then we also have animals. So it just fit, kind of like Jill said. I kind of found the calling there that I didn't know was even possible. And so I was able to work in a legal aid way, but for animals. So yeah, that's what led me to EARN.
That's so awesome.
Sorry, we're so lucky because Amanda has worked in other nonprofits before coming to EARN, and those nonprofits after legal aid were also animal rights focused. So we got her being very knowledgeable with a ton of experience. So it was very cool for us.
Yeah, I didn't really know I could combine the two. I was either doing like a legal nonprofit or an animal nonprofit. And so when I discovered that I could do both those things at Earn, it was just the stars aligning for me.
Yeah. That's really awesome. It's like personally inspiring to hear people who have such fulfilling jobs. You know, you always think of your job as like, okay, that's something I have to do, but like you guys are actually making a difference, and it's really cool to hear.
Thank you for that. I tell people that a lot because people reach out to us, and sometimes I speak at law schools, and I always try to tell people, whether it's law, whatever it is, just find something you love. And I know that's easier said than done. And sometimes maybe you're passionate and love something that doesn't reward you financially, and then that's a hard decision. And I tell people we spend so much of our lives working, and if you could find something that you feel good about at the end of the day, or maybe you have a job that just pays the bills and then you can find something you're passionate about on
Yeah.
the side. But I definitely feel incredibly grateful to work with people like Amanda and my whole team. And we feel so proud. You know, sometimes we feel exhausted at the end of the day, but we feel really proud of what we're doing. And that has kept me going all these years.
Yeah, that's really, it's like I said, inspiring is too small of a word to describe how I feel about what you guys do.
Thank you.
Of course. Jill, do you have some background on what animal rights law actually entails and what kind of clients that you support?
Sure. Yeah. People ask us that all the time, including other lawyers and judges, even. They're like, what's animal rights law firm do? So, yeah, it's a great question. We have 105 clients. So, we have a lot of different kinds of cases, always on the animal rights side, right? So, an example would be we litigate often against large corporations like PetSmart or Rover that advertise as treating animals a certain way, right, to get people's business when behind the scenes they're not treating animals properly or even humanely, and sometimes worse than that. So we litigate to enforce the way that animals are treated. We represent other nonprofits who are trying to rescue animals. An example would be from a shelter, and those shelters or animal control agencies are violating the law, such as the Hayden Act, that mandates if a nonprofit is offered to pull an animal, that the shelter will not euthanize that animal. We learn that that's routinely being broken. So we represent those nonprofits in helping rescue animals. We do anything that's pro animal. So some more civil litigation type stuff, like we call them our death row cases, which I know sounds depressing, but we have animals that are accused either wrongly or in a very exaggerated way of doing something, and animal control agencies want to euthanize that animal. We represent the families to reunite the animals with their family and get them freed from death row. So those are some of the big ones.
Yeah, you cover a lot, and you do a lot. So thank you so much. We're all very happy to be here to raise money to sort of support all that type of work and you know, give animals the rights that they deserve. I've learned a lot about sort of animal law just from becoming good friends with you, right? And just learning about how animals are treated like property and not like living,
Yes.
breathing creatures. And it's appalling, some of the stories that I hear from you, from outside of you, just like, and it's awesome to have you guys just be on the side of animals. So
Yeah, we try to be a voice for the voiceless. That's what we say. And if we could do that in a courtroom and outside, then it's worth fighting for.
perfect. Yeah. Okay, so how did you initially decide to start Earn? Was it just based on sort of the clients that were coming in from your law firm? Just some background on how the organization started.
Yeah, for sure. So I started Reither Law Group, which is a civil litigation firm that focuses on animal rights cases. And litigation can be expensive, even when we try super hard to work with people. And so, Amanda was working at Legal Aid, right? So that's one side of when you need legal representation and you can't afford it, right? There's entities out there to provide assistance for that. Well, that doesn't exist in animal rights law. It just doesn't exist. So
Yeah.
I started Earn to be a 501c3 to work alongside the law firm, so that when we would have these clients calling that really needed legal representation that could not afford it, we could raise money and offer them pro bono representation. And so that's how it started. And also, there's a leg of Earn that really focuses more on the animals outside of a courtroom as well. And I think because of our representation, I just did this earlier.
Yeah,
Reputation in the
words are
world.
hard.
Right? I'm so used to saying representation because I say it 1,000 times a day. We get confronted with animals that have been abused, neglected, and we didn't want to turn them away. So we also want to be a safe place for the actual animals. So on that hand, we serve as a rescue, although we're supposed to be more of a legal nonprofit, and we are, but we also don't want to turn away the victims that are the reason why we're being contacted in the first place.
Definitely. We're gonna have Sam come on and chat later on the stream, so he'll tell you a lot about how we've worked with Earn on the rescue side as well as the legal side.
They often go together. So
They really do.
Totally, totally. That's awesome. And then Amanda, how did you initially get involved with Earn?
So once Jill founded it and it became a real nonprofit and it wasn't just us trying to help people all the time in our spare time.
Yeah.
Once we were, we got real. I joined as a board member. So I've been a board member since the beginning and a volunteer. So anytime we would have an event or any kind of gathering or fundraiser, I was always there to help. And then we really just got talking one day about how I have this nonprofit experience and she has the nonprofit that I've been serving as a board member. And if I could come on full time as a nonprofit director. And finally, it all worked out that we could make that happen. And it was about a year ago. And it's been wonderful to kind of move into the role as full time because it's always been something that's really been important to me and something that I was always doing in my spare time anyways. And so it's great to make it a full-time focus.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds again, you guys living the dream over there.
And I was like, here you go.
Here's all this work. Bye.
Wow, you guys really need me. I'm like, yeah, we really do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. I want to be mindful of your time. I know that there's only about 10 minutes left for our chat.
You're fine.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
But do you have a memorable case or rescue that you worked on that you'd like to share with the group?
Yeah, maybe I'll do cases. I don't know if you want to do rescue or whatever,
Yeah,
but
I'd love to.
it's hard to pick because we have a lot. But on the legal side, because I feel like every rescue we do is like incredibly meaningful, right? Like the actual saving of the lives or reuniting the dog that's been incarcerated for a year with the family. Like those videos, tears streaming down. We're like, this is why we do this.
Yeah.
But for the legal cases, I would say one past, one current, briefly, is we had a case against Los Angeles Police Department for police shooting a family companion inside their home. And we would hear cases like that a lot. We would hear a lot of times dogs being shot by police. So we had a case against LAPD, and that resulted in a settlement or resolution of that case. And we became the first case that had mandatory police training as part of a settlement. And then we actually provided hands-on training, not us personally, but we had an expert on our team that was a prior police officer and an animal behaviorist, and he's incredible. And we actually sat down with the police officers, and at the end of this 3-day session, we were all on the same team, right? So we started off very, obviously it's litigation, right? Our office is suing the department. And we ended with what felt like meaningful change. And so many police officers talking to us about, we just had no training. Like we're not taught how to interact with dogs when we enter somebody's home. So I always feel super proud of that.
Yeah.
And that was really rewarding. And we try to, that's our goal in a lot of cases. We're like, how can we affect change, right? Like we're in this because we want to make a difference. And so a lot of times the people on the other side, are open to that difference, right? So that's sort of the dream. And I would just say current case that we're both very involved in. We have a case right now against the Pet Haven, is it?
Haven Pet Center.
Haven Pet Center. It used to be the Ramona Animal Society shelter. And we've been learning that they're routinely violating the Hayden Law, which is basically a law that requires if there's a 501c3 that's offering to rescue a dog that is in that shelter, they have to make that dog available for adoption. And they're euthanizing them and they're lying about it and they're covering it up. And it's heartbreaking. And we've been seeing this for years. And it takes an army to bring a case like that. And so we have one that we just filed and we're all really, really invested in that. And we would like to see that affect some serious change.
Yeah, that's crazy too. You have people who are willing to come, pick up the dogs and save the dogs, and they're still not allowing that to happen. It just seems crazy.
Yeah, and even worse, they're saying, yeah, she's available for adoption. This one particular dog, that's the focus of this case, Cinnamon, is one of the dogs, and the other one is Georgia. The nonprofit had it all arranged. She was going to be spayed, going the next day to pick her up, and then all of a sudden, oh, sorry, she's
Yeah.
no longer with us. So it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a recent one. So we're on our social media, we're keeping people updated on that one as much as we can with any kind of updates to the case and news. So if you follow us on our social media, we'll be posting updates to that case regularly.
Yeah. Is your handle on social media just Expand Animal Rights now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just
Mhm.
so if people want to find you, they can.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. So there are a few questions in chat. Jill, for the LAPD training, have you seen an impact on the number of cases decreasing in terms of like police officers coming in and accidentally or purposefully shooting animals in the home?
Yes, absolutely. And I don't want to say that that's all because of us, right? I mean, I think that the climate is also changing around animal rights. It is becoming, more people are knowing about it, but our office gets called anytime there's something. I mean, we're really the leading animal rights litigation firm in the state. So we hear everything. And years ago, we would get so many calls of dogs being shot by police officers, and we get a lot less now. And I've maintained a good relationship with some of the LAPD officers and higher ups, and we have an open dialogue. And yeah, we see a lot less. I'd like to think we contributed to that.
Yeah, totally. And speaking from my own personal experience with the LAPD, your relationship definitely helped out in our personal situation, I feel like too. So it's cool. It's cool that you're able.
Happy to utilize it,
Yeah, totally. One other question in chat. What's your favorite rescue story that you've had through? And I know you said that they were, more emotional and every one of them feels meaningful, but is there one that sticks out to you in your mind?
We have one right now that is just tugging on all of our heartstrings on the team. His name is Lucky. He's 9 years old. He's 165 pounds.
Big boy.
So it's challenging right from the beginning to ask, like, does anybody want to open their home to this big guy and help us foster or adopt him? And not only that, he needed a pretty extensive surgery amongst a lot of other little veterinary needs that just continue to keep growing.
Yeah.
And he was just really super sad to us because he was just left in a backyard, and he was amongst other discarded items. Like there was just, old lawnmowers and old things that just aren't used anymore, and then old Lucky. And so it was really sad to see those photos when we were first alerted to this little old man who needed some help. Big old man, I
Yeah,
should say.
little.
But he's a grandpa for
He's
sure.
a grandpa, yes, and he's just so sweet. And so we were able to get him out of that yard, and we have him with the most remarkable foster. Like we couldn't have dreamed of a better person.
An angel on earth.
She really is. She's incredible. And he's living inside. He just had his big surgery and some other minor things that he needed some vet help with. And so he's on the up and up, but it's extremely costly. He's so large that we had to special order a collar for him.
Oh, wow.
You couldn't find just general supplies that you could go get for any animal. And so he's ongoing. So we're looking for a home for him. He's beautiful. He's so gentle. He's our gentle giant. And as soon as he's healed from his surgery, we'll be opening up adoption for him. But even just being this week, we got a call that he had to be taken in to the vet for just a follow-up from surgery. And those things, if anybody has animals, how expensive that
Yes,
is.
they are.
Yeah, so anytime we take on a rescue, there's definitely hidden costs, and it's really been just kind of a lot because he's a big old boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been really nice to see. He looked like the saddest dog we've ever seen. Like we're just like, oh my God, he's defeated. He's so sad. And so now the photos, he's smiling, like he got a bath. I don't know if he said it. I mean, and he was covered in sores when he got his bath. Now he's got this beautiful coat, and it's been such a transformation. And I think it's probably why we're highlighting it. It's very fresh, and it's very challenging and it's working. And just like seeing the updated photos, it's been great.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. I guess this transitions pretty well to my last question. What do donations help fund? I imagine veterinary care and caring for all the things that you need when you're trying to find a dog a home. But is there any other specific examples you can give of what the money that comes in helps you guys do? So, are you at a door?
So,
Knock on a door.
yeah, someone's knocking at our
Very
door.
important.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yes, so donations help both. So donations definitely help our rescue efforts. We, at one point, just recently, we had, I think, four dogs enrolled in our rescue, which maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but we're a very small rescue organization, with just a really close-knit group of volunteers. We're, as you can tell, we're super passionate. So we really make sure that our volunteers are people we know. We want the animals with fosters we know and trust. And so we also will put a lot of our animals through an immersive training program,
Yes.
because we really want to set them up for success. I have volunteered with a lot of rescue groups, and animals get returned all the time because they just have not had the attention and training that they really need to go into a home. And so that's something we try to do for most of our animals. So donations go towards helping with vet care and training if needed, and just overall care, everyday care, but also for some of our pro bono and low bono cases. We have a lot of people reach out to us every single day. I do intake, so I'm kind of the first line of when people come and reach out on the legal side. And there are at least one a day who
Every
cannot
day.
afford the services. And so we want to be able to take those cases that really change the law or make an impact. And we're able to do that with the funds, and being able to help people. That goes back to my legal aid side, being able to help people, and now animals, who really, really deserve justice and representation and can't afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And just, I mean, obviously that speaks close to you, right, Elizabeth? I mean, we've worked together on a rescue side, on a legal side, and I think what Amanda touched on is something really different about us. I mean, we're lucky to have this incredible partner. We use Top Line Canine Services, and they offer this immersive training, and it sets dogs up for success, right? Like we bring dogs in have been mistreated, neglected, abused, like they might have never even known a gentle hand. And when you just kind of throw them out into the world, like
Yeah.
it's new for them. And so that's something that we are really passionate about. And it's incredibly expensive to find somebody good. We have a lot of legal cases against really bad trainers. So we are obviously quite selective when we're sending these rescue dogs to live somewhere for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a couple months, whatever they need. And so, we pay for that, but it's important to us, and I think it makes a big difference. And obviously, you've experienced that
Yes.
firsthand, and
5 times.
and just right, 5 times. And, not to say that Abby wasn't one of my absolutely favorite legal and rescue cases. I mean, it brought us together, and that was a heck of a challenge. So every time I see her photo and I get updates, I'm like, I love that Abby brought us together. And, that had a legal side, a criminal side, a rescue side, dot, dot, dot. I'll just leave it there. But you know what? Teamwork.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so thankful and grateful to have found you and Amanda too, because I feel like, while I don't have a huge platform to make change working in like corporate finance, but I get to be able to help you guys out in sort of smaller forums like this, and just kind of bring awareness and bring the team of awesome people that I've been able to connect with. You're back through Twitch, to kind of help you guys continue to make change and do really awesome things. So I appreciate you both more than you will ever know, and it's just so inspiring, all the work that you do. So, I think you might be on mute. It might be on my end. It might be on your end. We could figure it out. Still can't hear you. Can you hear me? Do you want to try dialing back in? Hanging up? Okay. Bear with us with some tech issues. It's always fun. They're also in Mexico on a phone. So, trying to get everything all figured out. I appreciate everyone for being here. They don't have a lot of time left. So if anyone, no pressure to ask any questions, but if anybody has any specific questions for the team, feel free to throw it in chat. Otherwise, I just appreciate you being here and listening. I think they do awesome, amazing work, and something that I really knew nothing about before I kind of fell into it and needed their help. So it's an organization that's really, really near and dear to my heart, and I feel so honored and grateful to have all my friends here on Twitch sort of help support and kind of bring awareness to everything. You want to try talking?
Oh, can you hear
Yeah,
us?
yeah, you're back. You're
Okay.
back.
Yay! I don't know what that
was
was.
so strange. We're sorry.
No,
Sorry
don't
about
worry.
that.
I know you guys are on vacation. I'm bugging you while you should be on the beach sipping
this
drinks.
This has been so nice and so fun, and I just really enjoy the opportunity to be able to speak about the work that we do, and you never know who you're going to reach, and it's nice to be able to join in a way that we haven't before. So thank you everyone so much for
Yes,
tuning
thank
in
you.
and watching this.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I was just gonna say before we lost service that let's not forget about Lewis and Miles, right? I don't know if Sam's going to be speaking
Yes.
about that, but we currently have 2 dogs that Sam pulled from the streets and called us, and they're in our immersive boot camp, and they are thriving
And so cute.
and so cute.
They're so
and
cute.
I can't wait to post some of the transformation videos, right? Like, I don't know that these dogs ever had a home before, because they had the worst leash manners I've ever seen
worst.
in the history of leash manners, and they're just doing incredible. Which just goes to show you what teamwork can do, and it really has been a joint effort. So I don't know how much Sam's going to talk about.
He's
that,
going to
but
talk about it.
Awesome.
Don't worry.
Perfect.
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. So right now, Ern is helping me again personally. I have a brood of dogs at home, and we found these 2 dogs wandering in the streets, really covered in ticks, fleas, really hot, ungroomed, like dirty, gross, like, but also very, very loving. And we were just like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, animal control is going to come knocking on my door again, and take me away if I take these dogs into my home. But they really need care, and Ern has really, really stepped up and helped us, get them cleaned up, get them healthy, get them through this training program, and now we're trying our best to find really, really, really great homes for them. So if you know anybody, I will willingly drive anywhere in the continental US to get them to a good home. So if you're interested, you can go to the expandedanimalrightsnow.org, their website, and fill out an application form for Louie and Miles.
Yes.
But you'll hear more about them from Sam in a little bit.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And it's like Amanda said, it's really nice to be able to talk about it. Sometimes I feel like we're so in it and we just do it. And it's really nice to be able to reach people and talk about it. And yeah, thank you for doing this, Elizabeth.
Of course, the
Did
chat.
you have any other questions, Elizabeth, for us? I just said I want to.
No, I don't think so.
Great.
I think I got through most of the ones I sent you. Everybody else in the chat is very appreciative of your work, saying that it's such a nice program, that it's very informative and wonderful. I appreciate your time and all the work you do. Puppy road trip at some point if they get adopted. Jen says that she loves you. Like, everybody is just very appreciative. So thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us and sharing sort of your experiences and stories.
Of course. Yeah. Feel free to follow us. Sometimes we do some dicey updates. You just never know. We like to push the line. So tune in.
Totally. Well, I'll let you get back to your vacation. Please go enjoy something fun and have a nice drink for me, and to celebrate sort of all the things that you do for all the animals. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. That's the reason behind the trip. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.